3Ds. All right. Our next movie we're going to go for is How to Train Your Dragon, directed by DeBlois. DeBlois?
DeBlois?
DeBlois? That'll
You're
work.
the one who took French.
I know. And Chris Sanders. All right. So this movie is a wonderful child's movie. It's about a boy who grows up in a Viking village that is always terrorized by dragons, and his name is Hiccup. And he needs to prove himself to his father, who's played by Gerard Butler, and fight dragons and do the Viking thing. And that's all this town knows is wake up, fight dragons, go back, rebuild, go back to sleep, wake up.
Super manly life.
Yeah, ridiculously manly.
And Hiccup's a little inept.
He's the scrawny, very typical Diary of a Wimpy Kid kind of, tragic hero. And of course, he's throws himself into battle with his inventions, which is a little cliche for me. The brainy kid who invents stuff to save the day. But he uses his invention and catches the coveted Nighthawk? Oh.
Night breath. I don't remember.
Dang it, the elusive night dragon that no one's ever even seen because it's so fast. And he captures it and befriends it after a long montage. And the story is about him befriending the dragons and trying to help the Vikings see the dragons in a different way, but they're all stubborn Vikings. So thus hilarity ensues. So I greatly enjoyed this. A lot of good comedy. It's got the classic stories of, a lot of cliches, but kids' movies are meant to have those. So I guess I do.
Cliches, morals, whatever.
Yeah, morals.
There's a blurring between that sometimes.
But I did enjoy. There's a lot of great scenes like where the kids are getting their training and he's befriending the dragon slowly, so as he learns tricks about his dragon, he becomes the hero of the town by fighting dragons in, I guess, peaceful ways.
Untraditional ways.
Instead of with swords and axes. But and there's just this great dynamic with the kids. They're all just, it's kind of got I don't know, what's a good group of kids movie?
E.T.?
E.T. feel to it, where all the kids are just, they all have these, there's the twins that have their little battles, and the Dungeons and Dragons kid who just knows all the specs, and then the
voiced by Christopher Mintz-Plasse, McLovin.
And the super hot girl that just tries to destroy everything with knives and gets jealous that her thunder is taken. I don't know. Everything. It was a good, heartfelt movie. Had that good father-son bonding moments where he gets proud of him and gives him his old mom's breastplate as a helmet. I'm like, that's awesome. That was a good part too.
So what grade did you give that?
Oh, I definitely give it a B+.
B+. I gave it a rhinoceros. Or I would have to actually match your B+. I think this was a really good effort in animation, specifically for DreamWorks. And, we're talking about 2 DreamWorks movies today, so I'll stick with this one for now. But DreamWorks, I've always felt, is just never quite lived up to what Pixar does. Like Pixar, DreamWorks puts out their cute little movies about talking animals, and they dance to pop music, and they call it a day. Whereas Pixar always kind of pushes for the narrative and pushes for the heartfelt and pushes just a little bit harder on the story plot side of things. And I think finally with How to Train Your Dragon, they're really putting out an effort to try and compete with that Pixar, Disney narrative style and actually create moments with their characters and really develop their characters and not just rely on pop culture references and pop music, but try and tell some, a real story with some real heart. And there are moments where you're actually supposed to feel, and I think that emotional core is what has always been missing from the DreamWorks model. And I'm excited to see where they keep going. And I thought this was a great movie and just a fun all-around kids movie and something, in the days of just kind of rhinoceros for the sake of rhinoceros, there actually was something to actually watch here.
All right.